Drop it.
What up there, boxing fans? This is Ronald Higg Boxing Reports. Okay, so the Sergey Kovalev and Andre Ward rematch is on, all right? So let me talk about how these rematches go. The ones in the past, the ones that, the fights that ended in controversy and they, end up getting a rematch. All right, now, we all know how the Timothy Bradley and Manny Pacquiao fight went. The first one, Pacquiao was dominant, and they gave the fight to Timothy Bradley. And the second fight was no different, all right? And this time they gave it to Pacquiao. I didn't understand the politics in that fight. But let's take a look back a little further, with fights that was similar, all right, to this Andre Ward and Kovalev one fight. All right, so let's take a look at Mayweather versus Jose Luis Castillo, all right? Now, in that first fight, that wasn't a pay-per-view fight, but in that first fight with, Jose Luis Castillo and Floyd Money Mayweather, or Pretty Boy Mayweather, at that time, that's what he was known as. All right, that was the first time I ever seen Mayweather get outworked, okay? And watching that fight and reading the commentator scorecards and all, I was like, man, Mayweather lost this fight. There was no ends ways out. I just could not see them giving Mayweather this fight. I couldn't see them doing that. And at the end of the fight, Mayweather was awarded the victory, and I was shocked. I was like, what? Now, going into the second fight and all right, Mayweather was, he showed more dominance, all right? He was more of his old self, okay? And this time, I thought that, oh man, they might end up giving it to Jose Luis Castillo because maybe he won the first one. He had won the first fight. But they ended up making it right this time, and they gave it to the winner, which was Pretty Boy Floyd. All right, he did win the second fight. Now, going back, I like watching fights with Miguel Cotto versus Mayweather and Marcos Maidana versus Mayweather. I look at those two fights, and I look at the Jose Luis Castillo first fight. I was like, nah, Mayweather just got outworked and all, but mostly all them punches that Jose Luis Castillo was throwing wasn't landing. But anyway, let's move on from that. All right, now with Evander Holyfield versus Lennox Lewis 1, okay, that was a pay-per-view fight. Now, Evander Holyfield got dominated by Lennox Lewis in that fight, and although he did rock Lennox Lewis, I believe it was in the 5th round after Lennox Lewis dropped his hands. It was the 6th round. I'm sorry, it was the 6th, because he even said he was going to knock him out. I believe it was in the 6th round, but he didn't accomplish it though. He did rock him, and then Lennox Lewis came back in the 7th round and rocked Evander Holyfield with a jab. All right, now both these guys got power. All right, and we all know that Lennox Lewis has a shaky chin. Now in the rematch, well, actually before this fight ended, I'm sorry, Evander Holyfield continued on to get dominated in this fight. All right, and Lennox Lewis versus Evander Holyfield won. Okay, although they both got rocked, but Lennox Lewis still came out on top at the end. All right, he still won the fight. But when the cards got read, they made the fight a draw. And that was highway robbery without a gun. All right, Lennox Lewis won that fight. Now, although both these guys got power, like I was saying before, and Lennox Lewis got that shaky chin, in the rematch, they were saying that Evander Holyfield gonna knock him out. And Lennox Lewis was looking like, nah, look, I dominated him the first time. This is gonna be a walk in the park. I'm gonna do the same thing in the rematch. They got inside the rematch. It was a whole different story, man. It was Evander Holyfield all night long from the first bell. Evander Holyfield was a whole different animal from what he was in the first fight. Evander Holyfield dominated Lennox Lewis in their rematch. Now, when the cards got tallied up, came to the end, I'm about to say, all right, Evander Holyfield got this, but guess what? It was another robbery. They gave the fight to Lennox Lewis. Now, I understand like the first fight was a robbery, but they made it a draw, all right? And Lennox Lewis should have won, all right? They should have got it right the first time. And they was going to rematch anyway. I'm pretty sure Lennox Lewis wanted a rematch if he would have lost. Just like he had got a rematch with, Rotman and, the other guy who knocked him out. Can't think of it. Oliver McCall. No, not Oliver. Darn it. I'm all over the place. But anyway, just like he got a rematch, in his first two losses, other losses, So they should have got it right. They had no right to rob Evander Holyfield in the second fight. But that's boxing politics, and that's how it goes. So how do y'all think this one here going to go with Sergey Kovalev and Andre Ward too? Now, the way Sergey Kovalev is talking about he's going to end Andre Ward's career, most likely he's thinking that he's going to see the same Andre Ward he's seen in the first fight. Now, who knows, okay? Andre Ward could come back like, Pretty Boy Floyd came back in the second fight, and how Evander Holyfield came back in the second fight. And he could be a whole different animal. He could end up dominating Sergey Kovalev, okay, in the second fight. We don't know, because the way it sounds like he is really underestimating Andre Ward. He's talking about a knockout. Now, with Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield, neither one of them got knocked out in the second fight, all right? But like I said, in this fight here, in this pay-per-view fight here, all right, this one was a close fight in a controversy, because you got, like, it's 50-50, so no one could agree, but the second fight is not going to be 50-50. Now, only Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley, okay, came out looking the same. Manny Pacquiao came out dominating Timothy Bradley in the first fight, and in the second fight, he came out dominating Timothy Bradley, all right? Now, in this fight here coming up, I just hope it don't look the same, all right? I mean, both these guys fought each other. Yes, we know they know each other now. Andre Ward knows that he can take Kovalev punches, and Kovalev already know he can take Andre Ward punches. But the thing is what style they're going to come in with. What style that Andre Ward is going to come in with. All right. So, like I said, he could be dominant, but just because he be dominant don't mean that he'll get the fight, because Holyfield, he sure did not get that fight in the rematch with Lennox Lewis. So, if Andre Ward, he may have to knock Kovalev out just to get this fight. And by the way, talking about Andre Ward, now, I was believing what Kathy Duva had said about Andre Ward, about him being a coward and he's missing dates and he don't want to, pick up the phone. Hey, Andre Ward, my mans, I virtually apologize. Truly apologize for that, man. Look, you ain't scared. You a warrior. From the way it looks, the way she was making it sound, and the way you looked in that fight, I really thought that you lost it, that you didn't have the eye of the tiger, that the fire for your love of boxing was, burning out. But you coming back, and I'm pretty sure you're going to come back strong. So right now, I'm not making no predictions for this fight, not yet. Well, really, I'm leaning towards Andre Ward right now, but I might have a change of heart. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on this. My name is Ronell Higg. This is Ronell Higg Boxing Reports. Make sure you subscribe when I'm out.